Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. I'm glad to have you guys here. Today is November 18th, 2019, a Monday. And let's get started. Let's open up the charts right here and take a look at what's going on. China is quietly bailing out another bank. This is the thing now, with the central banks. They're bailing out banks, and they're keeping it on the QT. They're not telling anybody what they're doing. There's no real big press in the media. I think that the central banks, I think this whole repo thing is about actually bailing out banks. And I think there's a bigger systematic problem in the financial system than they're letting on. Now, this bank in China that they just bailed out is 620 billion yuan worth. Now, yuan is not worth as much as a dollar, so it's less. But we also have big problems coming out. Huge problems. One of the problems coming out of China, it looks like all the numbers are falling. And the latest data coming out of China for this quarter is massive drops, especially in manufacturing, And I mean, manufacturing, looking at the numbers, the drop is huge in manufacturing. That'll filter down into other things that only had moderate drops, like retail and it'll filter down later. The drop in, if it continues, this drop in manufacturing in China, we're going to see really bad numbers coming out of China pretty soon. Probably in the next quarter. Probably when the numbers come out in the first part of next year, the numbers will come out for this quarter in China, and I think they're going to be really, really bad, But anyway, we got to keep our eye on Deutsche Bank. I think that I don't know. I don't have any proof of this, but could the repo market right now have something to do with Deutsche Bank? What's going on in the repo market in the United States? I don't know. I'm just guessing at this. But something's been keeping Deutsche Bank afloat, because look at the last 6 months. Basically, they've just been going along sideways. They're really low. If we take a look at the 5-year chart, we can see how they fell down to the bottom, and they've just been going along sideways. Something's been keeping them afloat, because they've been chopping their bank all up and firing so many employees. It's unbelievable. And they're becoming, basically, they're not growing, they're shrinking, So we got a lot of stuff going on. Let's take a look at silver today and see what it's doing. Silver's shooting for the moon right now. It's going up really fast right now, but how much will it break out of this range to the upside? Now, we had a couple funny things happen with silver. A few days ago, I noticed that silver shot up to the moon in just a few minutes. I mean, it went up, not going up pennies, it was going up dollars. And then it come back down again. Straight back down again. When I first saw it on the charts, I thought it was some strange anomaly in the charts. It's really weird. But here we got another weird thing happen just in the last few hours. You see the silver price went down to, it has broke out. It is breaking out above the range right now. Right this minute while we speak. The new just came in. It's breaking out above its range for the first time, and it's up over $17, $17.02, and rising really fast. Now, look at this spike down in price right here. It went all the way down to like $16.65, and now it's shooting right up to the moon. Weird stuff's going on, and it just smacks of manipulation to me, because not long ago they dumped silver contracts, SLV, onto the market, and they dumped more than the world's mining supply just in a matter of just a very short period of time. Really weird stuff going on, but that's just all part of what's been going on all along with the silver and gold market. Is manipulated. I mean, I've been talking about that back before anybody knew, when people used to say, hey, that market's not manipulated and stuff. I was saying it's manipulated, you know, on my channel. And I was telling them people how they manipulate the price, even way before it ever came out that they're really manipulating it, back when it was just crazy talk. Let's take a look now at the gold and silver. No, I mean cryptocurrencies right now. We're going to take a look at cryptocurrencies. 239.9 billion. I'll refresh the page and then we can see which direction. Okay, 234.1. So it's moving upwards right now. 60%, 66% Bitcoin dominance, and it's been staying in this range bound for a while now. Hasn't been receiving a lot of energy to the upside or the downside, and so it hasn't really broken out yet. Cryptocurrency 85.47 for Bitcoin, Ethereum's $184, XRP's 26 cents, Bitcoin Cash is $266, 58.82 for Litecoin, EOS is $3.43. Binance is $19.94, and Bitcoin SV is $122. Stellar's 7 cents. Tron is 1.8 cents. And Cardano is 4.5 cents. Okay, those are your top coins. Let's take a look at the Dow Jones this morning. Okay, I got one thing to say to you guys about the Dow Jones. You ever seen young guys, that like into skateboard tricks and stuff, And say there's two young guys out there doing skateboard tricks, and they're taking turns, First one guy'd do a trick, and he'd fall down or whatever, and the other guy'd laugh his head off. Ha, 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 it's funny. And then the other guy'd take a turn doing a trick, and he'd fall down, and then the other guy'd laugh his head off. Ho, 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 it's just like stuff on TV, and they're having a great time on their skateboards. Well, finally, one of them does a trick, and he lands, and the other guy's laughing his head off, But then all of a sudden he looks over and he sees his friend just got hurt. Suddenly, there's that instantaneous moment when the laughter stops. That transition can happen so fast. Now, when we're looking at this market, every time we see these stocks shoot up in price because there's bad news, it's like they're laughing their heads off. The Chinese economy's doing poorly. Well, that means more money from the Fed. Stock market goes up. Bad news, But there's a certain point where this could flip, where bad news could be bad news again. Now, we got GDP numbers from the United States. Abysmal. They've dropped down so fast from strong GDP numbers into almost recession territory. We're getting numbers like 0.3%, like 1/3 of 1% GDP, like that's just above recession. And the best numbers coming in are like 0.8. That's still not even 1%. Falling at that rate, if it continues, what's it going to be in the next quarter? Is it going to be negative? That's the way it looks to me. And of course, you get 2 quarters of negative growth. You got a technical recession. It's validated then, a validated recession. I'm going to tell you, this economy we have in the world right now, with these banks rolling over, them having to work on the repo market and everything else, it can't afford a stock market crash. It can't afford a recession. So there's where we're at right now with this whole thing. The laughing could come to a sudden jarring stop. Let's take a look now at oil. Crude oil's down 43 cents on the day, 0.74% for sweet light crude. U.S. Treasuries today. We're looking at yields falling. Now, an awful lot of them out there say we're heading to negative yields, negative yield territory. Maybe they're right. I'm a little bit contrarian to that because the bond market and is in a terrible bubble right now. But they say we're heading toward negative yields. How would that work in the banking system where you have to pay somebody to hold your money? It just seems backwards. It doesn't seem like it would function. And I don't think it will function, But nevertheless, they say that's where we're going, isn't it? And we see yields dropping today across the board. We're looking at the 10-year at 1.8%. It's dropped 3.3 basis points today alone. Let's take a look at the U.S. dollar index today. See what it's doing. 97.87 on the dollar index. Dollar index is jostling up and down, but it really hasn't made any big moves yet. Basically going along sideways. Thank you guys for listening to this market report. Give me a thumbs up, and we'll catch you guys in the next show. Bye-bye.